Hi, I'm Grant.
And I'm Kathy. Welcome back to our Change How You Think weekly video podcast.
If you'd like to hear from us every week, then subscribe to our video by clicking on the weekly video tab at the top of this page. Fill in the subscription form and you'll get our free ebook, Healthy Moods.
Are you getting tired of the pandemic? We sure are.
The pandemic has been very hard on people's mental health all over the world.
There are so many surveys that have documented how more people are suffering mentally and emotionally than who have caught the virus.
In August, the U.S. Center for Disease Control found that 10% of the 5,000 people they surveyed had seriously considered suicide in the past month. That's twice the usual number. In young adults, age 18 to 24, the number was 25%.
The researchers have even coined a new term for mental health conditions brought on by the pandemic. They are now called coronaphobias.
So how can we as Christians combat coronaphobia?
The first step is to treat depression and anxiety disorders that may have surfaced from all the stress of the pandemic. If you're wondering if you need help, just go to our self-assessment page for mood disorders on our website. The link is below the video.
For the rest of us, one of the most powerful solutions is in this simple verse, Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body, you were called to peace. And be thankful.
That sounds wonderful, but how do you find the peace of Christ?
Here's a picture that may help. When you drill a well, it's to access underground water that is flowing all the time, but you can't see it.
The peace of Christ is like that. When you become a Christian, the Holy Spirit takes up residence in your heart, and the river of God's peace begins to flow into you. It's the same river of life that flows from His throne, described in Revelation 22.
But this river is flowing deep inside. You can't see it. What you can see is all the turmoil and stress that surrounds you on the surface of your life, like coronaphobia.
To cope with the surface stress, you need to drill a well down to the river of peace that's always flowing through your spirit and draw up God's peace.
So how do you drill down to that river? It's in the same verse. It says, and be thankful. When you are thankful and combine that with worship, not only can you draw from that well of peace, but the river bursts through the ground and begins to flow onto the surface of your life.
When that river of peace flows over and covers your stresses, you can experience the peace of Christ.
So the next time you feel stressed by the pandemic or anxious about anything else in your life, be thankful, worship, and let the river of peace burst up from your spirit and cover your problems.
If you would like to remove any of the boulders or obstructions that are blocking the river of peace in your life, then join our Free Your Mind program. It will walk you through a healing program mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You can learn more about it using the links below this video.
We'll talk to you again next week, but this week, drill down and let the peace of Christ flow over you and your circumstances.